So in the late installments of BlackClover manga, well, those things has occurred. We've been learning so much about our main character and why he's especially the main character, not just the guy that delivers the final blow. He's much more than that. And we're getting to see his impact on other characters and how he has changed their progression and how it would be with or without him. And basically what I'd like to just talk about in this video, in this little small segment about this video, is Fugolion as a character, right? Fugolion was presented to us as a strong role model, someone to look up to, someone to, with a lot of pride, and one that, potentially might be one of the strongest characters coming out at the end of the story and all that sort. And I had high hopes for him from the beginning up till now, and no matter what, I always used to say, hey, this guy, the author Tabata has something planned for him. His character is gonna get better over time and all that sort. And I think maybe he was one of those characters that, with or without the character's influence, he would be strong. Which he is. He is strong. Not gonna deny that. But stronger. And due to the latest installments of the BlackClover manga, we're now getting to learn that Fugolion should have been dead. Fugolion should have been dead and was not even supposed to make it this far into the story if the character Asta, main character, was in the story to begin with. And so, with that piece of information, we got more. Whereas, if Asta's influence wasn't in Noel's life, she would be strong, but not as strong as she is now. And the same goes for Yuno. If Asta wasn't in Yuno's life, he still would be strong given enough time, but just not as strong as much, as Asta is in his life. So Asta has impacted their life, for the better, and made their progress so much. They're not dead, they're not worthless, but Asta has just strengthened more of what they could have been. Right? Asta has done so much to the story and the characters in it. And one character specifically is Fugolion. Fugolion now, the only reason he's alive in the story up until now is because of Asta. And emphasis on the word alive. He would be dead if Asta was not in the story. And when I mean dead, there's a lot of instances where he could be dead. It could be a fight against Lucifer. It could be many fights. But I think the moment that we're getting back to is a moment where he was snuck up on by Patri and taken out of commission and ended up in a coma. That's what we're going back to. And if it weren't for Asta's successful mission in the Witch's Forest, after defeating Fauna and having the Salamander switch host to Fugolion, if that didn't happen, Fugolion would just be dead. He'd be dead, and how he would be dead is being killed by a sneak attack by the first villain in the first saga. A sneak attack, a measly sneak attack. A fight that he didn't even put up much of a fight. He was just snuck upon and killed, which is kind of pathetic to think about. That this character, that at the beginning of the story, he was pulling up insane feats, protecting the civilians, showing much pride, dropping a banger speech to Noel, and all that sort. And we had high hopes for him. We were saying, this guy, he's tough. He's gonna be one of the best characters by the end of the story. And now to know that if Asta did not complete one of his tasks, one of his missions in the story, Fugolion would just be dead. And that would be a result of being hit by a sneak attack in the very first or second saga or arc in the story. He'd just be dead. And so, honestly, it doesn't end there. He still has more. He can prove that Asta being there in the story, we're gonna get to see the full potential of Fugolion. We can see what he's worth and what he can bring to the table, since Asta's influence has brought him back to life. So this little video is just to say that Fugolion wasn't really necessarily have to be in the story, with or without Asta. He does not have to be in the story, honestly. I mean, when looking into it, We could just gotten Merillion and Leopold. We could just have Leopold striving to be as strong as his sister, Captain Merillion, and she could have just been the captain of the Crimson Lions to begin with. And I think that's maybe what Tabata should have gone with to begin with. She should have been introduced in the second arc of the story, during the invasion arc, and maybe you should have just kicked off right there. We never have to meet Fagolion. It wouldn't really change much, because he hasn't really contributed much to the story. He was just there. And he's there because Asta influenced the story so much so that he's just there by accident. Luckily, he's just there. He's not there because, you know, he is who he is. He's there because Asta did this and he's here. So it's kind of sad to think about, but honestly, he still has room to grow. He still has potential. So let's see that Asta's influence draw out the potential in him that he would have had if he had not died. And so we got more. We need to see more for Fagolion. So honestly, it just feels late in the story, seeing that he hasn't really contributed as much and he hasn't really helped with any other character's progression. Maybe for Leopold, him being Leopold's brother is the only good thing that he isn't doing in the story, honestly. And let's see how that will pull off. Perhaps he's just gonna do some heroic shit and die and pass the salamander on to Leopold, which would just leave a stale taste in my mouth, as if like, oh, he was just the backup for the salamander, which is just kind of sucks. But anywho, guys, if you disagree or agree with anything I have to say in this video, comment down below. This is a quick analysis video about one of the segments in the latest Black Clover chapters. So hit that subscribe button, notifications on. I'll cover the chapter and movie and game news upcoming about Black Clover and so forth. See you guys, peace.